VRChat World development is one of the interesting hobbies that you can have when it comes to VRChat. As somebody who made 7 worlds already, with one more on the way in the near future, it's been a joy to make content in VRChat. For VRChat? However, it doesn't start. It's not as easy as you think. And today, I'm gonna be starting a new series where we teach you guys how to make your starting VRChat world, just like this one right here. For those of you who are not aware, I had a VRChat home world where I used to have this as my home world before I made Moonlight Village 1. Today, we're going to take a look at how to start making your own world for the first time, and we're going to be learning Unity at the same time as well for world development. I am Yuki Productions, and this is how to get started with your own VRChat world in Unity. Let's get this party started. You will need a few prerequisites in order to get started with this tutorial series. The first thing you need is a VRChat account. You must have a VRChat account because in order to download or upload any content, you must have a VRChat account. Go to hello.vrchat.com, go to log in or sign up. You will get be able to You'll be able to sign up for VRChat, and then you're gonna see this page. Once you sign up and all that good stuff, go to the download section of the VRChat account. Go go to download the Creator Companion. You must have this. That is not on Unity Hub because it is specifically for VRChat particularly. So make sure you have Creator Companion and not Unity Hub. Unity Hub is also for Unity, but it's actually for video game development, like real video game development, not like inside of another game. Once you have Creator Companion ready, you're gonna see this. When you installed it, you're gonna see this particular screen on the top here. Please ignore that I have one project because I obviously am working on one. Make sure you set up the path correctly to where you want to save your project. Now let's get started with how to make a new project. For a new project, go to create a new project. If you are making a world, there are two options for you, 2019 or 2022. Now keep in mind that when you download the Creator Companion, it's going to be the brand new version featuring 2022. With the new stuff coming to Unity and the new stuff coming to VRChat World Development, including a few features like Udon 2, you're going to see this anyway. 2022 is what you want. Title your project however you want it. We're just going to call this tutorial, tutorial world, and then press create project. When the project is created, you're going to see a few options here. And then we'll get started with learning about how the UI works. As you can see, we have a few new things on the board, including the following packages. Please note that these are standard and you must have them. You may have noticed I have extra packages. That is because with my Moonlight Village 2 remake, um, that's why I have those. The one you want to use is VRChat Toolkit, the VR World Toolkit, excuse me, as well as Easy Quest Switch. That helps you with the questing, with the quest. You also see that we have an up arrow. That means the up arrow means update. There seems to be a new update to the new world. Keep in mind that you must have VRChat the SDK base to 3.7. So you need to update these because they have new material like new functions and all that cool stuff. So all the cool stuff happens soon. basically saying. Once you updated the packages you want to have, press open project. We'll make sure that we don't need anything else. We are good. Press open project. It will take a little bit of for Unity to open up, so keep that in mind. As you open a project, also needed. If this is your first time with Unity with the VRChat Creator Companion, you also need to download the latest Unity version. In the Creator Companion, it will also help you download the latest Unity version. It will guide you through the thing. The Unity version that I am running is 2022.3 F1, and it will guide you through that. Once the world opens, it's going to be very empty, which makes sense. For today's tutorial, however, we're just going to go over the user interface of Unity, and we're also going to go into a little bit of shape shape manipulation. We're going to be taking you a little tour on how to manipulate objects and how you can use them to like make stuff happen. So once the Unity opens, we will be off and running. I will tell you that Unity is not that hard to learn when it comes to world development. Keep in mind that in this tutorial we will not go over too many advanced material, including Udon, except for making a light. Turn on and off, because by default you cannot do that. You have to use Udon scripting or Udon graph programming assets. And I'll take you a tour on that when we get into um interacting with objects. Some objects we will be dealing with, however, have been already made by the community so that we don't have to do too much when it comes to your very first world. The goal of this the goal of this tutorial series is to help you make your very first VRChat world without making it very complicated. So don't expect me to add show you case how to add like a system where you can earn money. There is something called Udon chips for that. And I don't you don't need to program that because somebody already did. We'll go over prefabs and all that as well in the series. It will take a little bit to have Unity open because it is going through a lot of new stuff for this version. We will also not cover post processing yet until it's absolutely needed. I know that a lot of people go over post processing. That's the one where lights become a little bit dimmer and all that. That's post processing. But I turn it off when I play when we're on Thursday nights normally because it does help with performance. But in video games, you do have to have post processing. All right. Now that the now that the world is open, it looks so empty that nobody wants to be in it. Of course it does. Because we just opened it. Okay. We're gonna take a look at the UI in just a moment, but press Control S to save your project. Now you might be wondering, but there's nothing here yet. Because I'm gonna tell you that it's a scene. That is what you call a scene. We're gonna call it Tutorial World. Make sure you save your scene immediately, even before you start putting assets in here. Okay. Now that we're in, now that we are in here, this is why you need your VRChat VRChat SDK and your account. But we're going to be testing today, but we're not going to be testing with VRChat yet. We're going to be using Cyan EMU. Okay, let's take a look at our UI for today, and in the next tutorial, we're going to start manipulating objects and galore and stuff. Please make sure you put VRChat SDK, put open the window. You are going to use Show Control Panel. We're going to move this by holding your left click and putting it over here so that it's easier for us to get into later. Do not sign in yet because we're not testing anything today with VRChat at this time. You will, however, need your VRChat account in order to test in VRChat. Keep in mind that if you do test in VRChat under the rule under the use of Unity, that if you are in VRChat, you see a friend, you cannot invite anybody to your world because it is a local test. This is local testing. Although you are going to see your friends online, you cannot invite them in at any point. And they cannot invite you either. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's get started with our starting out our world building and UI. So this is your UI. As you can see, we have several tabs that we are going to play with for today. So under on the left is the hierarchy. These are all your objects that you put into the world, your prefabs, your your so-called folders, which is called empty game objects, by the way. On the downstairs over here is where your project files are, your assets, your packages, Udon Sharp. On the left side of that is the project manager here. You also have the folders of each individual um, package that you got. If you want to use that way, you can. On the right, that is where you're going to see a few things. You have your package manager, your console, your inspector, and collision, as well as any other windows that you posted in here so that it's easier for us to get into when we need them. For this series, you are going to use a few windows. VRChat SDK and something called Pro Builder, which we will get into in just a quick bit. And let's take a look at each tab to make sure you guys know what each tab does in the on right side. The package manager allows you to add packages based on the Unity Asset Store, which we will get into in our second tutorial series with prefabs and object manipulation. Any packages that you either A, got for free or bought on a Unity Asset Store will be posted here in this particular tab. Keep in mind that there is also another section called packages. Press this button to see the other packages that are in here. I highly recommend, however, do not touch any of them because this is also a game development engine outside of VRChat. Do not touch any of them unless you absolutely know what you're doing with them. We will go over Pro Builder in just a bit. It is a Unity registry package. And you can sort by all those good stuff. The console is going to be useful for those of you who want to debug your world. This is where, hey, this is a warning message, or hey, this is a caution message. Keep in mind different warning, different notification. If you see an I, that means information. That does not mean error. It's to say, hey, debugging. If you put a debug message in the script, it's going to print out a message in that particular console just to give you, hey, this is what happened in this particular area so that you can adjust numbers or adjust the script just in case you have something that is dynamic. The yellow caution means that, hey, this is something you might want to take a look at, but it's not going to ruin your day. The ones that will ruin your day, however, are the red exclamation marks. And depending on how severe it is, it's going to ruin your day. Because the red exclamation marks that you would see in the console are what we call runtime error. Runtime error, or RTEs, are errors that will affect the world. And because of scripting with Udon as well as C Sharp, those are runtime errors where it will for sure ruin your day because you cannot run your world with a runtime error. It will block you from doing that. So please be careful when it comes to that. So pay attention to your console. Inspector allows us to very straightforward inspect the object as well as manipulate it with box colliders, which we'll get to later when we get into our object manipulation tutorial. We're also going to add like mesh colliders, box collider, all that stuff that you would normally see in regular worlds. So I'm going to show you how to do that when we get there. A collision, I'm not going to mess with this. I don't think we need this, but you can bake lights into it, but we're not going to deal with that until we get there. And VRChat SDK, this is where you're going to build, upload, and share your world, but we're not going to do that until we get into like when you upload a world later down the line. And then I mentioned that there is another window we need to pay attention to, and that is Pro Builder. You don't see it yet because there's a package called Pro Builder. So that's basic UI. Now I want to go into how to start getting your package so that you guys get ready for our second episode here. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is press this button under Manager Packages. Go to Unity Registry. Go to the right. You're going to see this search function. Type in Pro Builder and then install this package by going to the download button. If I can find said button, there we go. It's hiding there. Not download, install. So what is Pro Builder? Pro Builder is a package that allows you to, when you manipulate shape object, allows you to make a new shape, and it's going to give you to the shape automatically. But I'm going to show you examples right now so that you can get ready for our next tutorial in this series, which is object manipulation and how to use objects using Pro Builder. So the next one is going to be more on Pro Builder, and then we'll get into the real meat and potatoes of the series. Okay, keep in mind there will be something on the console. Please note that these can be ignored. If you guys do not need to use that, that's fine. It's the red ones you need to pay attention to, however. So Pro Builder is done. There's also another one you can download. It's called Pro Grid. Pro Grid allows you to have a grid and increment how your building looks like. So we're going to go for Pro Grid if I can find it. If it's not, I don't think they have it anymore unless they updated the whole thing. That's okay. The Pro Builder is done. Now let me give you a tutorial. I'll give you an example of what the Pro Builder can do before we head to our second episode. So before we get into Pro Builder, we need to find a window. Go to Window, go to Pro Builder. Go to our Pro Builder one. Let me Here we go. Go to Window. Actually, go to Tools, Pro Builder window. You're gonna see this Pro Builder window. Drag this into our little area here. So Pro Builder allows us to make shapes. For example, if we press New Shape, we can make a sprite, a plane, a cone, a sphere, a door. I'm gonna tell you that's more like an arc. I mean, a door like it's a door. Prism, cube, cylinder, stairs, torus, an arc, and a pipe, like in Mario. And all you have to do in order to use this thing, press on the grid, hold your left click, and then drag until you want to say that's enough, and then hold and then release left click. And ta-da! You have oops, I want to make a plane. Sorry. I wanted to make a plane, which is this one right here. Ta-da! You have your plane, and congratulations, you just made your first shape. So in the next tutorial, we're going to go over object manipulation and shape manipulation with ProBuilder. After we've done that, then we can get into the actual meat and potatoes, and that is making our objects and manipulating objects, as well as starting to fill our space. So that is for our next one. If you guys enjoyed it so far, hit that like, hit that share, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you for our next episode where we get into manipulation of shapes, objects, and ProBuilder. Let's go. And as always, and hit that like, and share, and enjoy.